Hello, it's me again, der Bayer, and today our engineers take us with a pre-production prototype of the new Bramble through beautiful Fruinia. So the new Bramble is definitely a bit less muscly and more elegant than its predecessor. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. But when seeing it here on the Fruinian roads, I still got the feeling that it's quite large and with its 3.5 liter inline 6, maybe also overpowered for mountainous and winding roads and narrow cities. And now that the fuel crisis has arrived and fuel prices go through the roof, our management is in panic mode if such large vehicles we are currently building and huge engines and fuel consumption numbers will be just too much for our customer base. And we don't know if we already have reached the tip of the iceberg, so it might happen that prices still are increasing and fuel and mobility become unachievable even for our part of the market, the richer part. So we need to be prepared, we need to have a way forward in our heads and maybe already in the factories. The goal for this episode now is to build a smaller car, a mass-produced car but still luxurious, with a luxury interior and also with a V12. We need to prove that the number of cylinders does not correlate with the fuel consumption numbers, so a small V12 for an economic city car, this is what we want to show within a concept. And if it's viable, also bring it to the market. There are also several other tasks that lie ahead of us, for example the introduction of the new Bramble, so let's get started. And here we are. The situation in general for the company looks quite good on paper, with quite balanced expenses and revenue, so we're making a little bit of profit, although we are spending around 7 million on factory construction right now. So the Godwit factory currently costs us a lot of money, and we will have another factory being built for the Bramble, and this is a bigger project. But yeah, the fuel crisis is here, and we want to be prepared in case everything collapses and our big engines don't sell anymore, and build something that's a bit more suited also to the Fruinian market, something smaller, something for the cities, but it will still have a V12, because that's our point. We want to make luxury for the masses. And it's possible to build economical cars with V12s. So let's get right into it. So let's take a look at our demographics. City budget and city are really huge, with more than 50,000 people here. City eco and city premium are less big, so maybe we want to go to that in case we don't build a large factory. But budget wise, we see city and city eco is basically the same. City premium is quite more rich. But if we take a look at Fruinia, we see if we want to build something for Fruinia, we have to go into the cheaper area. So let's try to build a profitable car for city eco and just see if we can make it available at this price. And to prove our point, of course, we will select city eco as our target demographic. And here also something new for us, we go for a front wheel drive, and let's see if we can fit the V12 transversely into there. And to make room we choose McPherson strut because it takes up less space in the engine compartment, and as a rear suspension we could go for torsion beam to make it really cheap, or I go for independent suspension. We are still premium, so let's do it like this. Here, because we have quite simple suspension, I go for this extra quality. And now it becomes interesting. How much of a V12 do we want to put into this? So maximum bore we can fit is 69, nice. But the engine is probably way too big if we go for a 69 bore. So to build something economical, I'm aiming at 1.5 liters maybe of engine capacity. And with that we might even be able to go for a double wishbone, but still it will be expensive to integrate this engine and the engine itself. And with cheaper suspension we will at least increase our margin on the overall car. Again, dual overhead cam 2 valve, I don't know, it's quite expensive with regards to the production units. Direct acting would be a lot better. So maybe for this economy use case, let's try this. We'll see if it's good enough for fuel efficiency. If not, I might switch to something else. And here we have the green choice, hyper-eutectic cast for less emissions. Here for the engine, because it will be expensive, I will not use any extra quality. Yeah, mechanical fuel injection would be quite interesting. But the engineering time and probably also the material cost and everything will kill it. Single 4-barrel carb? Maybe. Okay, we could rev this thing to 10,000. I don't know if that's a good choice for an economy use case. Yeah, probably not. Don't want to run too aggressive cam, of course. But that means we could even reduce the quality for the bottom end and still have no stress. So maybe that would save us a lot on production units. And it doesn't make the engine too bad at all. So we start at 48 production units. Maybe hold it to see the difference. Then if we go to -10, yeah, we sacrifice 1% or 10% of our efficiency. Also 20% on production units. Maybe we don't go down all that much. Just like this. And look at how smooth this thing is. 93. And I can even make it more sporty by just reduce the balancing mass. I don't even need the harmonic damper. I just recognize that they also don't even cost a lot of engineering time here. And now for an eco engine, you need to get this nice yellow part down as far as possible, so that you are efficient at partial load. Power-wise, we are fine with 52 horsepower, I think. And with that, I think we're at a good starting point. We'll see what that means with regards to fuel consumption. Alright, let's start with the design then. So now that the wheels are on and we have the right rims, what do you mean design wise? It's not the most beautiful might for now, but it's also different as we want to represent something different here. So please let me know in the comments what you mean about this. Does it look too cheap? Yeah, with the rims I'm not so sure. Probably should go for 14. Looks more realistic. But that will also increase the rolling resistance. Not too sure about that. Let's see. Rear brakes are drums. We need to be a bit more efficient to make sure our margin is good enough. The more you go into mass production, the more every single dollar counts. And this is where in the real automotive industry they fight for cents, basically. Everything we did so far with regards to low production numbers, there you can spend $100, $200 more on a car, nobody notices it. It's just a few 10,000 over the year. But when you sell tens of thousands of cars, then you have that immediately just by spending $1 more on the car. So now under tray. For now I go with none. We will check out if the semi-clad is worth it for fuel consumption. Oh, what I didn't recognize is that this body is just a 2+2. And then of course luxury interior, and yeah, as I said here, maybe we have to sacrifice a bit. Let's go with premium. What also eats fuel economy is power steering, so let's start with manual rack and pinion first. And in this case I would say standard safety is enough. Okay, with a target price of 10k we would sell 2,300, but nothing is green. So they don't really like our car yet. What is the issue? We are not drivable. We are comfortable. We are prestigious, of course. We are safer than the competition. We are almost as practical. We are small enough, so a smaller footprint is good here. We are reliable, but the fuel economy is pretty bad, so we need 40% more currently than our competition. So fixed drivability, fixed fuel economy. One thing I have added is an overdrive, which is very good. While we are at it, let's take a look also at how the engine fits in here. Yeah, I would say that's a really good fit. So the body would have allowed for even a little bit larger engine, but I think that's the maximum I can reasonably fit. So we're down to 7.5 liters. Let's increase the quality of the tires. It doesn't really reduce the fuel economy. Also, the rims are tiny enough. Does also not make a big difference. Okay, brake tuning is off. And now we are slowly getting there. Semi-clad just gives us 0.1. So it's not really feasible. Yeah, we have a lot of drag from our lips. Let's not do that. Car is still understeery at high speeds even. That's good. So we're down at 7.3. I can invest a little bit into quality here, in theory. Just because we care about the environment. And reduce cooling airflow a bit. And also City Eco does not need 4 seats, so let's go for 2 here. Then we have all the city categories. And we are also a lot cheaper. But we also saw that we lost many other categories, so I will definitely add a 2+2 variant for those. And we could make the car so much nicer by adding quality. I will spend 1 more quality, and I think then it's good. Let's take a look what the power steering does. 0.6 liters, so definitely we are not doing that. Also the comfort gain is not relevant. I would really love to get it below 7 liters. So we're almost there. Let me optimize the engine a little bit. And there we are, exactly 50 horsepower, 6.9 liters. I think we are pretty much done. And now let's go for the 2+2 model. And this one will be more of a basic model, so we just go for standard. I try just to separate it a little bit. There is not much we can do, but we can also just go for 4 gears. Alright, and then for the engineering, let's make this cheap to produce. That's the main focus. $60 months, looking good. Should be fairly cheap to produce. But we also need the same for the engine, and also we need an engine factory. I don't know how large the production will be and what we can afford, so we will probably have to come back to that. The question is, do we maybe also want to produce this car in Lithuania? Labor is cheaper, skill is worse, taxes are cheaper. I don't know if the taxes actually make a difference in this case. Plot costs also doesn't make a big difference. I'm just scared of how long it will take to staff the factory. But maybe it would be nice to have our small car factory in Lithuania. So here we have the Eco V12 factory. Let's start off medium. $2.5K is alright for an V12, I would say. I guess it will be really expensive if we really want to go to mass production. Especially as currently our credit score is not very high. I planned this already as a larger plot. Yeah, as expected, factories are too small. So it says I need 3 shifts and probably much more than that. And also the profit is not that big because of course these cars are just cheaper. But first we should also adjust the prices here. Okay, now the profits look more like it, and still this is not where I want to be. But I first want to check if I can actually afford it. Yeah, so we have 183% maximum coverage, so I can definitely go for bigger factories. Okay, medium 3 seems to be a good size. And we could also afford it. Oh, but the loan interest rate is pretty bad. Can I repay this with 22 million a month or not? I think I have to. Yeah, I think that's basically offsetting the profit we are making. So it's a reasonable investment. Interesting that the 2+2 is more expensive and I charge less. Of course it's more expensive because it has more seats. But the other one is more prestigious. It also has nicer radio. Yeah, that's what I'm going for now as prices. And then let's just do it. Wow, 800 million. With our company valuation of 200. Alright, that's the Winley signed off, and we just have to wait 5 years for it. Let's hope the oil crisis will not be that bad and our company will still be alive until then. Is there anything else we need to do in the very near future? Company valuation now has dropped below 0 and we have a credit score of D-. Because we have so many loans. Okay, the Clearest still looks good. Also from the desirabilities, we don't need a facelift. And now I also want to save on the money I spend on facelifts. When it's not necessary, I won't facelift. Clearest is a 69 model and a 63 design. So in a few years we should also design a new Clearest. The rest is quite new and the Godwit will release soon. So maybe in 75 we will get a new Clearest, or in 76. Yeah, I would say for this episode let's aim for 76. The old Clearest will have to hold up until then. Maybe then we will make a facelift, and then the Clearest 2 will also be designed in the next episode. And then we see within this episode how the Godwit is doing and what the Bramble is doing. I think that's a good plan. Production wise, the Bramble is still at 2 shifts and now starting to reduce the pre-orders, as the Bramble 2 is also gaining on pre-orders already. Yeah, we need to start the production of the Ultimate again. And Clearest factory is also maxed out at 2, so nothing we can do here. Company valuation is rising, which is good, and we are still making money. Let me also check if our marketing is good enough for the city markets, and I don't think it is. No, certainly not. We should, of course, now with the new Winley in the making, advertise the fuel economy. That's looking better. And a small footprint needs to be advertised for Fuenia instead of 0 to 100. Now this is rising nicely. We'll also do the same here in Hedvesia and in Gasmia instead of power. So we advertise both large and small footprints, because we have suitable cars for everything. So I severely upgraded my marketing. Cannot spend too much more, I guess. Barely making profit now, which is good. Clearest is still doing good. We're selling a lot of those. Somehow it is not producing the Ultimate V2. Although the engine contract is running. Pause and unpause again. Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't want to produce it anymore. So we'll just stop the pre-orders as well. Oh yeah, the Godwit is here finally. and also contributing nicely. Huge deposits, huge pre-orders. But we are definitely producing enough here. Okay. Yeah, in Fruinia we are still not very strong with our very large, very thirsty cars. It's looking better in Helvetia, but also mostly in the luxury markets. And in Gasmia we are somewhat there, but if you take a look at the overall market, in the luxury part we have only around 10%, so there's definitely room for improvement. So also maybe let's check our dealerships. Luxury premium dealers are the most happy ones because we sell them their cars for so cheap, and they can put a huge markup on top of those. But in general, looking good. Dealership levels here in the luxury part really large. The other ones are just starting out. And in Fruinia we are just starting here. So for now I'm just collecting a bit of money because the Bramble factory will also be quite a task. Taxes about 1 million a month is alright. Economy is going down a bit, but it's not too bad. And now we should feel something about the factory, but I think I've taken out a loan for this. Yeah, quite huge loans in there, 1.5 billion. And another quality issue, again a small issue with a low discovery chance for our V12. So let's do it quiet again. Claris is still holding up. No need for the new model just yet, or even for a facelift. Bramble now also finally manages to get the pre-orders down. And now the factory is done. Oh god. And this is now where we lose money again. So it's 1976. Still half a year or 8 months until the new Bramble will also be released. Why? Yeah, I was just wondering why did our income shoot up so much, but that's because of loan. More than 50% currently of our revenue is loan. That's the Bramble factory for you. So now we are out of Brambles. And the new Bramble sedan is the best selling model. It's the best pre-ordered model, we have to say. So 17,000 pre-orders already. Oh, and I just noticed our credit score is now F, because it's seriously, the company valuation is seriously going down. During construction of a new factory, the expenses are already there, you have the loan, but it doesn't calculate the partial value of the factory yet. That's why it's so bad. So once it now ticks over to August, we should get the factory value added to the company valuation, and then it should look better. And now it also says, yeah, the V16 is not produced anymore. That's the one for the Ultimate. Yeah, it should be there, but I don't know why it's not doing anything. Alright, factory is added, company valuation positive again, credit score D. Claris still holding up, but now it really goes down with regards to the pre-orders. Bramble running at 1.5 shifts. Do we need more than that? I'll probably do that for the start, because we have so many pre-orders. Let's run it at full capacity, 2 shifts. And we shouldn't have massive profits now. Boom! 62k. Oh no. Oh yeah. So Bramble gives us 50 million. of income. 20 are the loan for the new factory of the Winley and for the engineering. And our loan repayment is just 8 million? And why are we not making any money? Yeah, Bramble is still not staffed yet. Okay, so it will still increase. So let's see at the beginning of next episode how much the Bramble really will bring us. Numbers are definitely going up. 2,550 Brambles this month. Still, this is not really mass production. The Winley will push those numbers up even more. But next episode will actually be about going back to the roots, back to building the most luxurious car in the world, the Claris. The next generation Claris will be developed and maybe also a facelift for the old generation. And then we are ready to get closer to the 80s. Looking forward to that. Until then, thank you very much for watching and bye bye.